You're all really good interviews.
What about your job or just about in general?
It's a long night.
Oh, okay, go on. What do you have to do?
Me? I've run a local charity called Action Homeless. Action Homeless provides homes for people, provides housing for people who are rough sleeping, provides help with their problems, some of the things that you were talking about, whether that's people who've got into a bit of trouble, people who've maybe got problems with alcohol, maybe people who are taking drugs but can't find a way off it. We've got lots of services to help them. And actually, once they've got those problems cracked, we help them to find not only their own place, but get them into work, find jobs for them, and help them to, start being part of the community again. And that's kind of what I do every single day, and I've been doing it for 3 years, and it's great.
Rob, can I ask you a question? Yeah. I've met quite a few of your service users now over the last 3 years, and I've never met any that are as young as some of these guys here. What's the youngest that you've ever had to deal with in your time, and do you have families that come to you as well affected by homelessness with maybe some of these guys' ages?
Yeah. Youngest person that I've worked with over the past 3 years since it started was a teenage mum. She had a baby at 14 and was homeless, and I think things had all gone wrong with the mum and dad, and she wound up in one of our supported housing projects for young teenage parents. And she was great, but she was really young. She was trying to work out where she wanted to go with her life and had to be a good mum all at the same time. And it was hard work. It's hard work, I think, when you're grown up, but actually for her it was difficult. So that's the youngest person I've worked with. Haven't seen anybody younger than that. And we do work with lots and lots of families. One of the reasons why homelessness happens sometimes is because of domestic violence, and that's never a nice thing, and that's things that go on at home. And sometimes after that's all happened, mums and their children come and stay with us because they've got nowhere else to go, and they need to get away from something that's frightening them. So we do work quite a lot with families, and Leicester is actually very, very good at how it supports families who are homeless. It's one thing that we are really good at as a city. So that's something to be quite proud of when we think about what we do in Leicester.
Do you think something like the economic now? Do you think as the numbers like increased?
Yeah, definitely. And there's quite a lot of evidence to say that since we've had a lot of problems with the economy and recession, that homelessness is getting a bit worse, and it might still get a bit worse. And the real difficulty is there aren't many jobs going around at the moment. And one of the things that separates a lot of people is jobs and not having them. And if you don't have them, it's a lot easier to find yourself in housing trouble. So yes is the answer to that. It will get a bit worse. And that's why it's really important that as a city we start to work together to come up with solutions to it. Because if we don't, we'll find that those 54 people on the street will become 154, and that's something we really, really don't want to do.
There's been a lot of that in the TV recently. So what have we been watching? The
Hollyoaks.
There's been like a big storyline of like 2 young people in it.
They've been
One
homeless.
girl and a boy, and like changed their names and and then like they went in the end. So maybe that's like encouraging people that are on the streets to like, if you can go in, go in. Like young people as well.
Yeah. I think for a lot of young people who find themselves out of home, what on earth do I do? Actually, one of the best things you can do is to try and go over and try and patch it up and make it work, because that's the quickest and best solution. And it always seems a bit easy to run away from problems, but it's not. Sometimes going and fixing it up is the best way to sort it out and to make sure that really difficult things don't happen. So I haven't seen Hollyoaks, but if that's what they're putting across, that's really good.
I suppose as well, one of the biggest things is you've just mentioned, we walk around Leicester all the time, and we see empty buildings and empty spaces all the time, and if there is such a problem with families and people not having places to live and a sense of belonging and places to be, then surely that could play a huge integral part into bringing those spaces back to life and using empty spaces like that.
And there's some beautiful buildings in Leicester that aren't being used at the minute, and how great it would be to use those for homes for people who need them. I couldn't agree with that.
Yeah, until they're let, Yeah, totally. I bet everywhere where you live, are there empty? Where do you live, Courtney? Mahake. So, is there empty flats and houses up there?
Yeah, there's only two, but there is still some.
What about where you live? Where do you live?
Quite thankful.
Yeah, like Abbey Lane way.
Yeah.
Are there empty properties around there where you live?
Loads of them.
Yeah. What about what about in Highfields? Are there empty shops, empty buildings up there?
Yeah, quite a lot.
Yeah.
There you are.
What about where you live? Are there empty shops, empty buildings?
Yeah, there's quite a few up there.
Maybe it's a new campaign for bring
Yeah.
empty homes back into
I know
use.
there's quite a
There's
few up
West
there.
End.
Because the thing is, why those properties are empty, they do get trashed and vandalised, don't they? Which costs money as well. And how cool would it be for people to be able to go in and use
Oh
them?
yeah.
What do you remember 1 or 2? Everybody's trying to ask me questions. What do you want to say?
I think what's the difference between the cost of the council actually helping revamp a house for it to get in use and then to claim like rent from people,
Yeah.
and the cost of them having to constantly send the police out for stuff, it getting vandalised and repair costs,
Good question.
which would be cheaper?
Good question, Will.
It is a really good question. Depends on what the house is like. So if it's really, really badly dilapidated, so it's really, really sort of disrepaired, then it might cost quite a lot to bring it back into life. But actually, if you've got a lot of people in there that are squatting, if you've got people in those properties who are not treating it very well, then actually it's just going to get worse. And then bringing homes back into use so that actually you don't have that problem. In the long run, for a lot of those homes, you're right, you're probably cheaper.
I don't know if you've heard about the society in Germany. If someone's homeless, they can like go and knock on the door, and there's special buildings for them where a lot of people live together.
Yeah.
If we brought that to United Kingdom and in Leicester, so like there's 54 people sleeping homeless tonight, how do you think that would involve around homelessness?
Might be quite good. I don't know the thing you're talking about in Germany. I'd like to find out about it. There are places in Leicester where you can knock on the door and you can get help that night. But I think that would, provide a much better solution than some of the things that we've got. We've got more places where people can go in an emergency. So if you can tell me a little bit more somewhere about that place in Germany, I'll have a look at it. That would be interesting. Don't know. That could be good.
Rob, can I ask you a question? You sit there as the CEO of Action Homeless, and you've mentioned local charity and all that kind of stuff, yeah. But what impact does it have on you as a person? Dealing with these kind of issues, and
She was going to ask that.
You're
She
going
said,
to ask
"I was
that?
gonna ask
yeah, because really, people sit there and say, "Oh, this guy's the CEO, and they make these decisions, and they lead the board, and there's trustees and all that," But at the end of the day, you're a human being,
Well, I wouldn't have started doing this job if I didn't think it was important. I spent 15 years before this living in Leicester but doing national charity jobs all around the country, and I think you can't live in Leicester all your life and not be affected by issues like homelessness. So it was a chance for me to come back to Leicester to do something that I wanted to stop. Having kind of gone from that initial view to actually seeing it every single day, sometimes it's upsetting, and sometimes when you see some of the things that you were talking about at the beginning, it's not very nice. But what's brilliant is seeing people who have been in that situation and a year and a half later have turned their life around and are working, getting a lot of joy out of life, and that happens, and that's fantastic. So for every tragic story you get a bit of inspiration and a bit of a pick-me-up and something that makes actually your job feel pretty worthwhile. So a bit of both, really, is the answer to that. But I got involved with this job to make a difference to something that I believe Leicester needs to try and end.